Well, good evening again. I'd like to welcome you all to the healing journey. This is our learning journey where we're on here together and we're finagling away through it all. It was not given to it, excuse me, we didn't ask for this journey, but as you know, we were given this journey. So wherever God is, He's going to give us the tools we need to be successful on this learning, healing journey. Lee, welcome.
Oh, good afternoon, good evening. It's so great to be here and be a part of the show this evening. We are so glad for our Facebook, YouTube live audience. And we're just excited because we have guests here tonight that is powerful and have a wealth of information and knowledge that they're going to share with us. And I just can't wait.
Yes, thank you. As you well know, this is a part of our lessons learned. Leah and I, we're co-founders in that 501 C3 organization, and we're a nonprofit organization. So we do solicit those donations that you would like to make to keep us up and flowing so we can help other people. We're a crisis intervention agency, or should I say organization, that we give you the mental health. We have legal resources. It's just a host of things. We also have an event coming up, which is entitled Financial Literacy, and that is going to be given by Gary Moses, who is a VP with First Horizons Bank. You know, we all need to spend our money. We're talking about prices are going up and this and that, but Gary will show you how to maximize the value of that dollar. Things that you may not know, and it's so important. So anyway, that is an event. It's this Friday night. I did post the flyer on our website. We're also on YouTube. Please look for us on YouTube. And that way, if you can't get on Facebook, you can always go back on YouTube and see some of the videos. As you well know, Facebook does not keep those videos anymore, but on our YouTube channel, they have that. And if you scroll on our Facebook page, you will find the YouTube address. So we want to get into something tonight that is so important. And Cynthia, I want to welcome Miss Cynthia Gardner with gun violence. I want to recognize Nisa Majors, and you know the loved Kevin Bullard. He's back with us tonight. He's the founder of Hungry Lives Matter, and he also does mentoring for Boys to Men. So welcome on our panel tonight. Thank you so much as we talk about manipulation. And we're going to talk about that. So Cynthia, if you want to briefly introduce yourself, and Nisa, if you want to briefly introduce yourselves.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Gardner, and I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm currently the Director of Survivor Support with Alive Community Outreach. It's a non-for-profit organization. I work with families who have been affected by homicide. I lost my son in 2018 on Easter Sunday morning uh, to gun violence, and now basically I have taken that pain and turned it into purpose, helping other families who are currently going through it, being there for them, giving them hope, giving them encouragement, saying, you can make it. I can say that me as a believer, that by knowing God, He has helped me uh, walk through this pain and to have even the compassion for others. And not only that, I have a son who is incarcerated and been gone for 24 years. The young man that murdered my son got 85 years. The one that set it up got 5 years. My son, who is incarcerated, was sentenced to 80 years. He didn't kill anybody. He had attempted robbery, attempted kidnapping, attempted carjacking, and robbery. Got 80 years. They said wanted to make an example out of him. It was election year. He never had a juvenile record. And it was just a one day thing. Went out. So basically, just kind of now just trying to help others. I believe everything that I've been through is not just necessarily for me, but it's to help others to walk through and navigate and where to go, what to do, through this. And so now I'm just trying to take one day at a time and get through this and get assistance even for myself and to pass on at this time.
Thank you so much. Cynthia's been on here with us before, and we welcome her back. And Nisa, welcome. You want to tell them briefly about yourself?
Sure. My name is Nissa Majors. I am a business analyst at a company called Metro Group, and I also teach classes, recovery classes, for a company called Genesis Outreach. It's an addiction recovery facility. I teach such classes as trauma bonding, recovery parenting classes, just different classes, relationship classes, many different classes to women who are recovering from drug addictions of different sorts. Um, I am also connected to Cynthia because I am the same age as her son, and we met when we were, what, 7 or 8 years old, running summer track.
Wow.
And throughout the years, we were in school together. So I've come along, and it really was God that purposed it and called it to be. I think we were at a service, and at the service, pray and intercede together. And um, so I've come along on this journey, and being a peer to her son has allowed me to be transparent with him, be honest with him, and hold him accountable in ways that probably he wouldn't listen to his mom. He has listened to me. So that has been a blessing as well. I do have a master's degree and an undergraduate degree. We won't go into all of the details behind that, but I believe in lifelong learning, and so I try to employ that in every area of my life.
Okay. Thank you so much, Nisa. And you all know Kevin. I've already introduced him. He was our guest last week. Kevin, welcome. We want to welcome you again. It's such a pleasure to have you on here because you have a unique perspective on both sides. And I thank you, Kevin.
Thank you for allowing me to, Ms. Kelly and Lee. Thank you for allowing me to join this wonderful, um, inspiring organization that help us to really navigate this thing called life, and to just hear stories from different people. That's we all in the same boat, but we all have different stories. And just
Yes.
thank you for allowing me to just get my story out there over the airways. Thank you.
You're welcome. We wanted to start off with something this evening that a lot of loved ones go through, and that is manipulation. So, I'm going to give you the mental health, the psychological aspects behind it. And, it's about control and control in a powerless environment for the inmates. And let's say those who are sitting down for a moment, I hate to give names and labels to them when they're in the inside. So those who are in the inside, we'll label it like we'll say it like that. They're stripped of everything when they go in. They're stripped of everything, and they're stripped of their autonomy. So manipulation can be a way for them to regain a sense of control. Remember that manipulation is about power. It's about control. And this is a way for them to get control over others. It's also a learned behavior. Some of them have histories of manipulation as a coping or survival strategy long before they're incarcerated. So they know the game long before. So then when they go in, it's full center when they go in. And it's something that they may do as a survival mechanism. They have to survive. And then it can also be a part of a personality disorder, the mental health part. Traits associated with antisocial behavior, narcissism, borderline personality disorders can fuel some of those manipulative behaviors. Also, there are a lot of environmental factors that can also contribute to the to that behavior of manipulation. Scarcity of resources. Access to privileges, goods, or information is limited. So manipulation becomes a tool to acquire what otherwise isn't available. Who do they manipulate? The correction officers, anybody working in there, so they can get things. They can also manipulate their loved ones on the outside. And that is what we're really going to be talking about, that game of manipulation and how you can be aware of it. There's a social hierarchy. Prisons have informal power structures, and manipulating others can elevate an inmate's status to protect him from threats. Also, staff inmate dynamics. Some inmates study staff behavior to exploit their weaknesses, gain favors, or avoid consequences. This is what they do to get what they want. Avoiding punishment. They can manipulate you so they don't have to be punished. Manipulation may
Mm.
help them deflect the blame or reduce disciplinary actions. Gaining trust. Now, we know trust on the outside, but trust on the inside is something different. So some may feign vulnerability or compliance to gain trust, which they later exploit. And then there are creating alliances. Manipulation can be used to build loyalty or pit others against each other. So those are few things with manipulation. And as a loved one, Cynthia, if you want to start as a loved one, that manipulation involves deceptive or coercive tactics to influence your thoughts and things of that nature. So, having a loved one on the inside, does that affect you? Have you been affected by manipulation?
Yes, I believe I have. I at one time I may not have known, that I was being manipulated, but I do believe that has happened down through the years at this point, especially when I've been the parent, the one that's been there for
Mm-hmm.
my son, bend over backwards, pay for attorneys, put money on the books, gave food. I mean, everything. Travel on the highway, gas, put food in the vending machine. And after doing all of that, encouraging the whole works, it appears as if I'm the one that's the bad person.
Yes.
So, and I'm thinking, okay, now it can play on your mind, you know what
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean? Things like that, even though you done good.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Mm-hmm.
when they come and bash you, you haven't done this and you haven't done that, you haven't been there. And I'm thinking, I've called the courts, I've advocated in the prisons, to the top head person. And I'm like, no, when I've done everything I possibly could, and then still on the end of it, you're still asking for money.
Mm-hmm.
Even after you
Mm-hmm.
said I'm the bad person. I need 15 on my phone. I need this. So I know the fact that it's manipulation and more than me that they're doing it to, but a lot of these family members, don't know it, especially the mothers. I believe probably fathers that are close and there for their sons or they probably put their foot down. But I think they get over more on the mothers. And the other fact of the matter is, even dealing with my son was probably more, I'm not gonna say hardcore type, but still that he carried that maybe trait somewhat. And when he
Mm-hmm.
went to prison, it didn't make him any better. But I just wondered after 24 years, by now, I'm like, man, that should stop, especially when you're looking at your mother getting older. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And have dealt with so much, like, should be calling saying, hey, I'm just checking in on you. How are you today? That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing behind
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Kevin, can you comment on what she said about, the fathers who, may be able to put their foot down? Kevin, Kevin's got some comments for you.
Um, as a father, I'm gonna tell you how I felt about. I have a son that's doing 12 and a half years in prison right now for aggravated assault. He assaulted all like six individuals with a firearm. By the grace of God, did not one bullet hit nobody. He
Mm.
fired the gun 26 times.
Mm.
So I started intervening for this young man when I got out of prison because I know he was going to pick up that same trait of wanting to be just like his father. And he did it. And right now, I've been supporting him for 4 years straight. almost $100 a month,
Mm.
and and to me has it turned into manipulation
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm.
because there's no way somebody no there was no way that you're supposed to be owing nobody in the jailhouse when you are a when you already know how to fight. You have you have anger issues. So how can somebody be manipulating you?
Mhm.
Nobody's manipulating him. He is manipulating me because ain't no way you're going to tell me that you owe somebody or how you going to owe somebody in the jailhouse
Mhm.
Mhm.
when they give you 3 meals a day. When I just sent you $50 last week, his mother sent me $75.
Mhm.
You don't need that much money in the jailhouse. I did 7 years in prison, and really, I could not manipulate my mother because I hadn't got to that point where didn't I put myself in the jailhouse. So I
Mm.
cannot expect people to take care of me while I'm in the jailhouse.
Mhm.
And I'm having to put my foot down. It's hard. Trust
Mhm.
me, it's hard when you have to tell a loved one no, but my no can really help him
Mhm.
because now he's living beyond his means in the jailhouse.
Mhm.
Ain't no way somebody should have to be sending you $100 a week for you to live in jail.
Mm.
That is manipulation. And he has learned to do that because he pitted first me and his mother, we was against each other. And so
Mm.
he used that as a tool. Let me go to mom and get money. Let me go to dad because I know both of them going to feel sorry for me because they're going to really try to blame them. I didn't know no better because I was blaming myself for him going to jail. I cannot take that because at the when you turn 18, by law, you are an adult and you start making adult decisions. That's why they say you finish high school at 18 and it's time for you to go into this real world. And so guess what? I let him go in there thinking that he was still a baby. And I need to do this. I need to do that. I got to answer for every phone call. I got to keep money on the books. Am I helping him or am I hindering him from
Mhm.
getting to where he needs to be to know that I got to do this thing on my own and I can't depend on nobody else to help me do this time. And that's what that manipulation is forcing Miss Cynthia, you are doing time yourself,
Mm. Wow. Keeping the parents and the loved
keeping
ones, the
you locked
caregivers
up.
locked
Yeah.
up.
Mm.
Because if he was a real, I'm just gonna be who I am. If he was
Yeah.
a real gangster, if he's a real soldier, if he's a real individual that he called himself about that life, that go out there and rob individuals, you ought to be able to learn how to manipulate in that jailhouse and learn how to make money after 24 years. You should not still be relying on mother's milk
Mhm.
because you're not a baby no more.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm.
And
Thank
he's
you,
keeping you
Kevin.
locked
Thank
up
you.
too.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Nissa, what do you say about it?
Wow. What Kevin said was a lot. I know both me and Miss Cynthia have been questioning some things that, like, we have been seeing and what's really going on with him. So to hear what Kevin is saying, it hits home and it resounds with me. I'm that person, and as you were asking that question, Miss Cynthia, I started thinking myself, am I being manipulated? And I had to answer yes as well. Because I'm the person that he calls, and he has me moving money around
Mhm.
here and there
Guilt
for him.
tripping. Mhm.
And
Same thing for
yes,
me.
love
Moving
bombing,
money from
Playing the
cash out.
gaslighting,
victim.
guilt tripping, like all of that. And like I literally hear him when he's asking other people for money, and the different tactics that he employs and the different people that he becomes as he's asking different people for
Mhm.
things. So it's like I'm seeing the manipulation in living
Mm.
color, and I'm standing by and I'm watching it. So like what he's saying is hitting home, and I honestly feel guilty right
Because
now.
what Kevin said. You become their victim.
Mm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
when your child or your loved one goes in, there's a lot of guilt, there's a lot of shame, there's a lot of things that you have to deal with. It's traumatizing. You're caught up in that trauma bubble. And Lee, do you remember those days?
Yes, I do. But
The
mostly
anger.
what I remember is I know his father was doing certain things and I was doing certain things. So before I put that money in and stuff, I would always ask his father, "Did you put anything in this week or whatever and stuff?" And depending on what he told me is how I responded to it.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
sometimes you have to beat them at their own game.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, you don't feel good about where they are and stuff, and you know it can be tough in there and stuff too, but you have to protect yourself a little bit and kind of work with that so that they won't work you.
exactly. And there are certain personality disorders that it is more prevalent associated with these behaviors, such as borderline personality, that may involve the emotional outbursts, the guilt tripping, and to avoid abandonment. They will try to manipulate. Then you have the narcissistic personality disorders, and that often includes the gaslighting, the guilt tripping again, and control tactics. They may try threat maneuvers as well. Well, if you don't do this, I might be killed or whatever.
Mm.
You have to just, you know what? I'm going to cover you in the blood of Jesus right now. Okay. We're not going to cover you in finances, but in the blood of Jesus,
Yeah.
no hurt, harm, or danger shall come nigh your dwelling, and keep it moving. And that will show them, like, you know what? You can't do that. When I'm working with, that population, I have to let them know I know the schemes. I see you. And
Mm.
once you do that, then they know a victim. They know who they can manipulate and who they can't manipulate. And I think maybe using tactics like I see you or something to let them know, oh, did that really happen? Kevin, is it the first thing that they learn when they have to sit down? Is that one of the first things that they learn?
This is a behavior that they learned before they went in jail.
Mm.
Mm,
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
they just fine tuned it when they get in
Okay.
there because they don't have nothing to do but wake up, go to sleep, make a bed, walk
Yes.
around, maybe try to protect their innocence, and they have time to perfect an art that they took in there. Because before my son went in there, I paid child support, and he had got to the point where he started taking the child support card from his mother and sister,
Mm. Okay.
strong arming the child support card, taking that, using it how he want to do it, and then going to tell his mother, if you don't do this, I'm going to do this.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
This craft is learned before they go in there. And this young man, he's just, what is he, 20 years old, 21?
Hmm.
My son?
Okay.
No,
No,
my
his
son. My
Oh,
son.
your
son is
His
son.
only
son.
Oh,
Yeah.
21,
21.
22
Okay.
years old.
Mm.
He went in at 18. He turned 22 this year. And I have watched his level of manipulations. It's
Wow.
it's it's that's what it's very. You have to pay attention to them because they will play on your love for them.
Yes. Yes. And that is so true. They study you before they do it. So they do it with deceit, they'll do it with charm, all of those things to gain that emotional leverage. And once they have that emotional leverage, guess what? They have you. They've sucked you in. They know then that they can use this scheme and that scheme on you. And that's what's important, to really know those schemes that they will suck you into. I'm sure that you all come across a lot of loved ones that go through this. Are there any signs, Kevin, to really look out for to prepare for this?
The signs I would say, the needing money every week,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I think that's a form of addiction. I did 14 years in prison. 14 years. And I had to learn how to live And I didn't have no, I had family members, but I was never a manipulator because I've been a hustler. So when I went in my last bid, I was in federal prison. Federal prison is way different from state
State.
prison
Hmm.
because in feds they almost they treat you like a human being. I'm just going to be honest. They respect you more because you have a lot more white collar crimes, blue collar crimes, and it's not on the state level of doing time. And so what I have with these men that's doing state time, they really don't have a way of making money the way we was able to make money doing the federal time. So the state level of manipulation is way higher than the federal level of manipulation because when I went in federal, I had money. And then when I was doing federal time, I did time with doctors, lawyers. When I did make it down to a lower security, and so once you get to a lower security, now you're dealing with lawyers, doctors, judges. But when I was behind the gate, I dealt with high level criminals. And behind the gate, I still made money in prison.
Mm.
Because as a hustler, a real hustler is going to adapt to his surroundings and not make the surroundings adapt to him.
Hmm. Hmm.
There's so much, I remember when you just said that, I wanted to pull up the Chrisleys and Todd Chrisley. He mentioned federal prison. Now, Trump had, pardoned them, but he mentioned some, I'm paraphrase what he said. He could not believe the difference in the treatment between he and the black inmates in there.
Mm.
So a lot of manipulation could be, spewed around that because they see it. So they want the same treatment as their counterparts in there. And he definitely said he was going to advocate because he couldn't believe some of the treatment that was going on.
Well, Todd Chrisley went in. He went in at a camp, probably
Hmm.
lower security,
Yes.
and at a lower security, it's like open bay, and he went in with money.
Yeah. Yeah. There
So
you go.
his
Yes.
social status is real on the streets. Social status is real in the military. Social status is real in the jailhouse.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So when you go in with that status, guess what? They're going to treat you better. They're going to give you they're going to give you lower bump passes. They're going to, your treatment level will be different because of your social status.
Hmm. Hmm. It's something, I think about that. And a lot of times I'm just thinking about what you said about the manipulation. For those parents out there, those loved ones, it could be a husband, it could be a wife, because women use the same schemes as well to manipulate. We have juveniles also use the same schemes to manipulate. And you wonder, how much of that boundary setting you need to put in place to protect yourself, and how much of that manipulation do the loved ones recognize prior to. Cynthia, did you notice any manipulation prior to?
Well, my daughter, she was saying his behavior, she was like, he didn't just start this, mom. Like his
Wow. Okay.
behavior, you know what I mean? He was more aggressive and uh yeah, he had that behavior, you know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
like saying now because of where he's at, but he was more of that type anyway, or thought everybody owed him, everything. He was just that type of person. So yeah, so when he got here, it seemed like it just made it, worse. And the fact now, like I said, because I'm older and I was sharing with Nissa, uh, with him, I told him like I emotionally can't take it. And I did write him about a month ago, and I
Wow.
laid everything out. I got everything out of my system that I've been carrying in my system from the day he went in up to this point, how he made
Wow.
me feel, all the things he said, the whole works. And actually, my counselor said, you just was released from prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were. You shifted that
That's
accountability and
that's
blamed
what
it back
my
on him.
counselor said. He said, you just released yourself. Now he's getting a little better because I put my foot down, saying what I'm not going to do. This is how much you're getting a month or every 2 weeks. This is what you're getting. I did bend a little, but still I'm better than I used to be. And so, and the other fact is now I told him I can't take what I used to. I just lost my husband in February. Like emotionally, I'm
Yeah,
here.
you're
You know what
there.
I mean?
God
So
bless.
he can't. So I hang up the phone. If he doesn't hear what I'm saying, I said I'm getting ready to hang up. And when he keep talking, I just hang up. So I know he probably's like, man, like she changed. Yeah, I'm changing.
I do that with the ones that aren't in prison. Look, we're not going to talk about this evening.
Yeah.
And when you keep talking about it, I've made my boundaries. Boom.
Yeah.
And
So that
Nissa, and she did ask me, did I feel my son was a
narcissist. Hmm.
narcissist? Yeah, she just said that about a week or two ago with him. Because
Mm-hmm.
she's now hearing how he is, how he was for a minute trying to talk about me, the person that helped him. And she can, explain, like what she has heard. So yeah, and I'm thinking 24 years. I'm like, man, I was thinking he should change by now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He
Mm.
pushed the boundaries, Cynthia, to see how much you would tolerate. When
Oh,
you stood up and pushed it back on him, that was it. He pushed those boundaries, but he pushed it too much. Sleeping Beauty woke up and said, no more of this. Yes, you just unlocked the door and let yourself out, as Kevin said. You're free. Nissa, how much has he tried to manipulate you?
I think he's still in like that love bombing stage with me because of the fact that his mom has drawn the lines. So he hasn't did a lot of tactics other than just like I think he's still trying to figure out where he can get with me.
Oh, yeah. He's studying
Um,
you.
he's studying me still, yes. Um, but I do kind of call him out on things. Like I call him out on how he treats his mom, and that's abusive. That's gaslighting, and and things of that nature. But I still see how he's manipulating other people.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of matter of fact on my no and my yes. Like I believe that when I say my no is no and my yes is yes. And so
Yes.
like when he asks me for money, no, I can't do it. No, because I'm still not certain, and we've talked about this, what he's really doing with the amount of money that he is getting from people.
Mm.
I
It
don't want
bothers us both.
there's so much going on in there, so much in there. That, I'm just gonna leave it right there. But there's so much going on. Lee, what advice would you have for those loved ones that are dealing with that? And
Well,
you've been on that side before as well.
like you said, you definitely have to set boundaries. And when you think in terms of the entire system is supposed to rehabilitate, and
Mm.
mhm.
you're not careful with that, none of that will happen. And I'm just so glad that we have a panel of Kevin. You're holding it down for the males, for the fathers, and you got your mothers here and stuff, so we can
Yes.
somewhat of a balance there and stuff, because we do think differently, mothers than the fathers or so. You guys can, put the toe down much faster than us and stuff. But I just kind of wonder sometimes, what exactly can we do? It is different, but what can we do when they're going into that system that's supposed to rehabilitate,
Mhm.
to get them to that place of better, so to speak? And like you say, they're running that game of manipulation. And I can't say the word, correctly and stuff. I'm Southern, but that whole system of them learning to manipulate you with all that they have, so that we can feel sorry for them as opposed to helping them get through this journey of incarceration.
Yes. And one thing that is really good that you can do, and you can set clear boundaries and zero tolerance. I'm not going to tolerate that. These are my boundaries. You could either adhere to them or bye.
Mhm.
Clear boundaries, zero tolerance. When you notice it, that's when you crossed my boundary. So, you know what? We're going to have to do this is what I told you we're going to do. And I think once you set those clear boundaries, that's going to be it. Not tolerating that behavior. Also, educate yourself on manipulation tactics because there are some new ones out there now. So make sure that you educate yourself on manipulation tactics. You know, they do classes constantly for the COs, the correctional officers, because they're manipulated as well, and they have to be updated on that enough. And make sure that you have emotional resilience, because when they're trying to get what they want, they will come at you and you're this and you're that. You need that emotional resistance to stand up strong and tall, and have ethical clarity, and make sure that you're not, no, I'm not doing this. And make sure that you also have a person that can support you. And I know you and Nissa support one another, and that's excellent. And that will help you through. I know there are loved ones out there that are going through the same
Thank you.
thing, but you
Mhm.
have to have those clear boundaries and emotional resilience. And once you have that, that can defeat a lot of those tactics. They'll know that you won't put up with that. And even when they get out, they need money. They need this,
Mhm.
they need that.
Mhm.
So you have to be very careful about that. Kevin, would you like to tag in on that?
Yes. You know, I'm going through a phase of trying to stop letting my son manipulate me.
Hmm.
And how I'm going, I love my son to death because that's my only son. And for him to be incarcerated, that hurts even more.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm a strong individual, but that right there will bring me to tears
Hmm. Hmm.
if I get caught up in it. So I say, you know what? I'm going to help himself because he's down to like 60 months. So
Wow.
guess what? My first thing I'm going to stop answering all his calls because
Mhm.
the only time he's been calling me is for money.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Step two, I'm going to set boundaries. I'm going to require more from you because if I don't, you're going to come out with that same
About.
manipulation,
Mm.
that same narcissistic attitude, and this society that we are dealing with now, they're not going to put up with it.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So we have to help them help themselves and not be an enabler
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
And that's
because
it right there. You enable. You hit that right on the head, Kevin.
Yeah.
because our money enables them to do what they do. So if Miss Nissa, if he is receiving money through Cash App and you shifting money around, Miss Gardner, why y'all sending him money?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
If you shouldn't be asking mama for nothing after 24 years. If you
Right.
still asking mama for anything, you still a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you need to cut that milk off because
Yeah.
he's too old to be still drinking
That's
milk.
what. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's still
Cut it
old.
off. Nissa, I know y'all have, y'all feelings, but if you don't draw that line, he's gonna drag you for the next, what do you got, 24 plus, just say 56 more years.
The money.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
The
We
Wow.
environment.
know that, go ahead, Lynn. We know that those numbers is exaggerated, but another 10 more years. He's
Yeah.
getting old. He's getting old.
Right. Right.
A person will do what you allow them to do.
To do.
Yep.
You are the change agent. You
Mhm.
have to say no. And if there's anybody out there that is dealing with this, know the tactics.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to feel that guilt, that shame. They study you. They know just how to get in there. Set your clear boundaries. Make sure when you make boundaries that they're not all over the place. Make sure that they're clear and firm. They can't have any ambiguity to them. They have to be clear and firm boundaries. Because if they're not firm, that's another tactic that they can use with that. So, I want to do something else with this panel here, because there's so many things
So
that we
much.
all can talk about, that goes on, that we can help other loved ones out there that are struggling,
Right.
with this. And I would love for this panel to come back together in the next 2 weeks and talk about some other issues that we're going through, and help other people out as we're all on this learning journey together, because we're learning on this journey. We're
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
learning about them. We're also learning about ourselves. We're
Yes.
yes,
learning about all the resilience we have to keep going every day,
Mm.
because it hurts us so much,
Yes.
and this is also traumatizing for us. And then when they hit that inside, it's traumatizing for them as well. So I would love to do that, but I want to thank you all as we get ready to close this evening. Kevin, do you have any final advice or words? You gave so much, and I thank you.
My final advice is if you have a loved one that's in prison, incarcerated, and if they don't go in with a level of remorseful and
Mm-hmm.
sending letters home trying to make it right with family members, they're not sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I got one calling me right about now.
Mm.
Okay? He's calling right about now because I'm setting boundaries for myself.
Yes.
The
Yes.
Yes.
state, the state of Florida is feeding him. He's very safe. He didn't have to go to work today. He's not hungry. He's not thirsty. He has a roof over his head. So
Yes.
guess what? I'm gonna stop feeling sorry for him because he put himself in there. And I
Yes.
tried to keep him out of there. Miss Gardner probably tried to keep her son out of there. But that's the life that they want. So you got to give them what they need.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't
Mm-hmm.
feel sorry. Please
Especially
don't
not
feel
the
sorry for them.
disrespect, right,
Because
Kevin?
if you think
Disrespect.
he feels sorry for y'all, you are highly mistaken.
Yes.
Where
The
Mm.
is the
disrespect.
where is the apology letter? Have you seen one lately, Nissa? Miss Gardner, have you seen one lately? I
No.
haven't seen one in 4 years, and I done sent over thousands of dollars to the jailhouse. So guess
Mm.
who? Guess who is the enabler?
Mm-hmm. 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 There you go.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if we don't hold them accountable for their actions, we can't hold them accountable for what they did to get in there, but we can hold them accountable for how they acting in prison. And manipulation is don't manipulate your family members.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly. That is such good information. I thank you, Kevin, for that. Cynthia, would you like to have any closing remarks this evening on manipulation?
I well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be here on this panel and everyone else that's on this panel. Um, I have learned still even a lot on this evening, even after dealing with this 24 years. And for ones that are out there, uh, I just want them to know that I'm there here in this Fort Wayne area, Allen County. Uh, I'm there to give them support and from what I've learned even on this evening to pour into others. So I'm
Yes.
trying to still get better and I'm so thankful for this information and I'm going to still even make more changes. So
Yes.
just
Yes.
we're going to all work together and
Yes.
just give some light and everything else that we can. Thank you all so much.
You're welcome. Nessa, did you want to say anything as we close this evening?
I like Yes, I likewise want to say thank you. This has been so informational and so helpful. It's answered a lot of questions that we've had. I like something that Kevin said about you have to draw boundaries. And
Hmm.
I think that's really the answer to um, some of the questions that I've had is drawing boundaries. So I appreciate this because I feel like this has helped me to grow tonight and to really look at things through a different lens.
Exactly. And that's what it is. We didn't ask for this, God gave it to us, and we have to adjust and change our lens in order to deal with it. And Cynthia, I want to challenge you with one thing. You said that you wrote him a letter a month ago
Through
and put
email,
everything
yes.
through
Mm-hmm.
email.
Mm-hmm.
He never responded. Wait for that response. Don't do anything else until you get that response. Where's your response? You didn't get that, did you?
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Let
Kevin,
them know you're not playing that game anymore. Did you get my email? I want to have your response
Mm. Okay.
and see what response you get. As to mom, I love you, mom. Thank you for being there for me. I know you've been through so much. I'm here for you. Have you heard that from him?
I heard, I've heard bits and pieces, but he'll say that, and then next is,
can I
I
get?
need such and such.
I need.
Mm,
That's
Yeah,
mm-mm,
that's their
mm-mm.
tactic right there.
that's
Because
it.
they'll
Mm-hmm.
tell you things that you want to hear, and then
Right.
once they tell you what you want to hear, then is
Mm-hmm.
I need, I
Yeah.
need, I
Yes.
need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't fall
Yep.
for it. Don't fall
Yeah.
for it because my son did me the same way. Oh, Dad, I'm signing up for school. It's been 4 years. He still don't have his high school diploma.
Wow. There's so many things that you can now not be privy to that psychological manipulation because that's all it is, and especially all you've been through lately with your husband dying and things of that transitioning. With things of that nature, he knows there's a weakness there, a vulnerability, and they will play on that vulnerability. So make sure that you stand tall with that. And as we close tonight, I just want to thank you all because, we can share things that we've been through. And somebody just texted me and said, "This is so powerful. Please share it."
Mm.
And I guess they didn't want to put it on Facebook, but you know, there are so many people that have loved ones who are doing some time right now, and there's shame, there's guilt, there's so much that they can't, just handle. So I get so many comments, and Lee does too, about thank you. This was powerful. So make sure that you definitely, share with people. And Lee, as we close out tonight, would you like to say anything?
Just deal with all those emotions, loved ones, caregivers that you're dealing with. You're dealing with your incarcerated ones. We got to keep ourselves healthy in all of what we're going through while we're on this journey, and we are all on this journey together. So we're
Yes.
here for each other. This is powerful. It's been educational. I've learned some stuff. Setting those boundaries was slamming the phone down, but I didn't look at
Do
it
like
that
Kevin, you just don't answer the phone.
it was
Right.
Kevin
just
said, "I'm not
Yes.
going to answer it."
Answer it.
right.
Right.
Boundaries, yes.
Come back another time when you got some sense. But
Yeah.
I guess that is setting boundaries or so. But we learn as we go on this journey. So we're so thankful for our guest, Nisha. Cynthia, so good to have you back. Kevin,
Yeah.
it's good to have you back. Thank you so much for being with us and sharing this information. It's learning, and we got to put some more because
Yes,
there's
definitely.
more to talk about and stuff.
We're
But
going to try to do it in 2 weeks, but that's Labor Day. So after
uh,
that, we're going to come back. We're going to reorganize. There's so much that we can do.
Yeah.
There's so many lives we can touch. There's
Mm-hmm.
so many information we can give. Together, we're powerful.
mm-hmm.
We. So let's plan on the we, and it is just so needed. And I thank you all. Kevin, again, we thank you. Cynthia, this is not with us right at the moment, but Lee, thank you. So until we see you again, please know we do have financial literacy. Instead of giving that dollar in there, come to the financial literacy on Friday night. It's on the website, ourlessonslearned.org. It is also on this Facebook page. It's on our Instagram page. Come to that and make sure that you are you are learning how to spend that dollar wisely instead of giving that dollar to something else that you don't know about. So until we see you again, good night, thank you, and peace and blessings.
Night.
Thank you all.
Thank you.